Bonjour à tous et bienvenue dans Block Interview, le podcast qui va à la rencontre de la blockchain pour mieux la comprendre. Enfin, cette fois-ci, on va pas parler blockchain, parce que j'ai eu la chance de rencontrer John SHIPTON, qui est le père de Julian Assange. Avec lui, on va parler de la situation de son fils, qui est aujourd'hui face à l'extradition vers les États-Unis, des liens qu'il y a également entre cette technologie décentralisée et le free speech, donc la liberté d'expression. Je vous préviens une chose, John ne parle pas français, donc toute cette interview a été faite en anglais. Là, vous allez voir dans les semaines à venir, j'ai plusieurs interviews également que j'ai faites en anglais. Donc le niveau est pas non plus trop élevé. On a essayé justement de prendre le temps de parler un petit peu lentement. Donc n'hésitez pas à me mettre des commentaires, à réécouter les passages que vous n'avez pas forcément bien compris. J'essaierai de faire un article sur l'interview en français dans la foulée, sur Medium. Donc je vous souhaite une très bonne écoute.
So my name is John SHIPTON. I'm Julian Assange's father. I'm in Paris today speaking at the Ethereum conference.
Okay, thank you very much, John, to join me on my podcast Block Interview to address here together a message, the situation of your son, Julian Assange, and how the community of blockchain can also help. And we'll talk a bit about free speech and how all those things can be, how the crypto universe can help also Julian and the free speech in general. Are you okay?
Okay, let's go.
The first question is, can you a bit pitch us the situation of Julian now, as the time we speak here in 2020?
Julian is in Belmarsh Maximum Security Prison, facing a hearing, an extradition hearing, to send Julian to the United States to face charges of 17 espionage charges and one charge of computer hacking.
Okay. The general allegation or computer hacking?
Yeah. One charge of illegally attempting to access a computer, really, that's all.
Okay.
In that case, interesting, fascinating, really, because Chelsea Manning at that stage, when had access to SIPRnet, password free, no records, SIPRnet. So all of the files and leaks that Chelsea downloaded and passed to WIKILEAKS were available to Chelsea without the password, the passphrase or the pass hash that she asked Julian to hack.
Okay, so there were no hack.
No, none. So, but what it was that the soldiers in the office would want to download games and movies and store them on their computers, on their laptops.
The professional laptops.
Yeah, the professional laptops. So they would hack the admin
directly,
and so they could download and watch movies instead of, well, I don't know, working or whatever. It must be pretty boring. And that was the story, really. Nothing to do with all of the information that Chelsea passed to WikiLeaks, and Julian was available over SIPRnet, password free for Chelsea.
So the charge that's against Julian now is almost 76. You said
it's 17 espionage.
Yeah,
charges.
17 espionage, or around this aspect of hacking, which is not legal, but doesn't occur to this situation.
No, the hacking is just nonsense. Actually, in the extradition treaty between the United Kingdom and the United States, you cannot extradite a person for a political
reason.
Matter. Yeah.
Okay.
Espionage, of course, is always political. And two examples of a political effect of the publications. One was the Iraq War files, revealed that a family of 7 had been murdered. The children, grandchildren, mother and father, everybody, the entire family. This caused the Iraqi government to reassess the status of forces agreement and cancel it. And thus the United States had to remove its troops from Iraq, which it did, only coming back when it fermented the ISIS crisis.
All right. Yeah. During your speech, you mentioned the other part, the Afghanistan part, that's just finished 1 week ago.
Yes.
And that's like 10 years ago, actually, WikiLeaks published the information about the war and the crime during the war.
Yes, this is tremendous. It allows people in the, I don't know what community, in the digital community, to understand the tremendous power that's available. It doesn't happen quickly. So 10 years ago, the Afghan files were released, demonstrating that the United States had more or less lost the war and had been involved in war crimes. This slowly permeates into the body politic and becomes a historical factor. And last week, that historical factor became a public reality. The United States surrendered to the Taliban. In other words, they've signed
just
an agreement.
Surrender.
Well, that's what it amounts to.
Yeah.
They said, we're going.
Yeah.
So the Taliban have fought them for 18 years. 18 years. And the Taliban have won. Yeah.
And the action of, like, to make a little bit a zoom on free speech and the digital era where we are now, and the people are able now with blockchain also, but in general with decentralized action and not showing the name of the sources, because that's the other part of your speech. You mentioned that's an important aspect of WikiLeaks.
Yes.
And of free speech in general on digital world.
Well, these things are vital. Like free speech caused the end of the Afghan war slowly, but in historical perspective, quite quickly. That's you and I being able to talk about things, be able to see which government commits war crimes and which government fosters ISIS, for example, and supplies guns to the jihadis and so on. That's the great gift of free speech. With Julian's extradition to the United States, all commentators, journalists, publishers and publications will be intimidated and oppressed and unable, for fear of being extradited or
incarcerated.
And just to make it a bit clearer, it's not just extradition. You have to fight for your rights. So you have to employ lawyers in your jurisdiction in the United States. In the case of Julian, there's 100,000 people worldwide working. There's hundreds of websites, hundreds of Facebook pages, 110 lawyers in 5 jurisdictions, costing, I don't know, I imagine $10 million. No publisher, publication or journalist is going to risk that circumstance. You know, it's just monstrous.
So it's powered by fear.
Well, yeah, intimidation is always fear, you know.
Yeah. Completely.
You know, you're not intimidated by me asking you, would you like an ice cream? You know?
Completely. Like related to fear and states of fear, how is he, in which state Julian is now?
Oh, well, anxiety, you know, and depression follow his days. I mean,
Can you talk to? Are you able to talk to him?
Yes, I see Julian last Saturday and Sunday.
Okay.
And then I go Thursday. It's tomorrow's Thursday.
Yeah.
Yes, I go Thursday, Saturday, and Sunday.
Okay.
Unless I'm in Geneva to see. They're trying to arrange a meeting with Lula and Dilma Rousseff.
From Brazil.
Yes, from Brazil. Very, very. Well, I like those people. I don't much like Bolsonaro, but anyway, that's another matter.
Yeah, he's not very free speech people.
No, the opposite.
in his way. And so now, because you also mentioned it during your speech today, you open a website where people can donate to help Julian.
Yes, well, it's defend.wikileaks.org, and it accepts Zcash, Ethereum, Bitcoin, and ordinary fiat money.
And is there today like a sun in the dark that can, as you see it?
Well,
in the case of now.
Yes, the support in Europe is tremendous. There's been the Austrian Parliament passed a support motion, which had the government support. In the canton of Geneva, they've offered a humanitarian visa. In the Parliament of Germany, the Bundestag, there's a cross-parliamentary support group. In Australia, there's a cross-parliamentary support group. In the European Parliament, again, another support group. So it's the support in Europe is wonderful. The people are wonderful.
All right. So thank you very much for this time in interview, and I will speak now in French. Vous pouvez maintenant du coup donner et participer pour aider Julian directement sur les plateformes que je mettrai en lien. Merci beaucoup. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Merci beaucoup d'avoir écouté cet épisode avec John SHIPTON. Je trouve ça vraiment super intéressant, notre petit échange là sur la position du free speech. N'hésitez pas à vous abonner au podcast parce que la semaine prochaine on va revenir dans l'univers de la blockchain et des cryptos. En attendant, abonnez-vous également et lâchez un petit commentaire sur iTunes. Je vous souhaite une très bonne journée, très bon après-midi, très bonne soirée et à la semaine prochaine. Ciao ciao.